So Disney had a pretty, y- a pretty deep retracement here off this low. Um, and now it's trying to make its way up. So I drew a channel here, as you can see, from this top, and I'm just leaving. This was the throwover right there. You see, yeah, and the rule is once you had a throwover here, you should expect the same thing here. So it's gonna move. I would give another week or two. It's gonna see a pop to the upside, same way it happens here. So don't have a confirmed buy signal yet. We might get them on Monday at the open, most likely on this bar. It's gonna be against this low right here. Okay, so it should rotation looks good as well. Plus it closes above a 21 EMA as well. That's the one I kind of keep an eye on a weekly. So um, I want to do. I've showed you this thing many times before. It's once you had this throw over here, you should expect the same thing here as well. So we'll watch this one to see how it goes. Tree is like this one. It has the buy signal here as well. So it's been for the last 2 weeks was kind of sideways, as you can see, and now finally got the pop right there. This one moved 15% this week. So it has a confirmed buy signal as well. So we'll see if it can. I have shares, can hold this thing as long as it's not a problem. See if it could kind of work his way up a little bit more from here to see how it goes. Put up a morning star. That's a bullish candle as well. Okay. Weekly is everything. Okay. That's gonna be a trend line right there. It's gonna be the real test. If the price managed to come near this zone, the area here, and then then the key decision is gonna be the breakout. So we'll see what happens. So we're gonna do the same thing on this one. We can simply draw a channel on this one, take this swing high to this lower high, project it from this, and you see this throw over here. Now you should expect the same reversal to the upside as long as this sucker hold. That's my only, that's always going to be the challenge. The buy signal has to hold, and then the trade can progress week after week. It's not a dark one. This one has shares. I'm still holding a 1697 that I paid. It kind of whipsaw around. So just watching this to see if it can kind of squeeze through it. So God, all the time in the world, signal is still valid, and just taking a lot of time. This health peak, it's this stock. I picked it up through the scanner, cheap stock. I was like, I'll just pick some shares. Really don't want to imagine being on the options or leaps right here. How much time that we're wasting here. So it just we'll see what happens. It's up now and see how in next week, 2 or 3, how it goes from here. Okay, I mean it looks good. I mean it's like shares. I don't really have concern because I'm always gonna find another trade or something. I can just move things that way. Palantir closed it yesterday. The Palantir that I closed was because I only took a shorter term swing and I was targeting this 61.8% retracement. As soon as it hit yesterday, 61, 147.23, I closed it. Okay. So it was a small counter trend move because we don't have a confirmed weekly signal here. Okay. So it was from the daily, so I took it from the daily side. So I was like, okay, a lot of the software names are starting to breathe. So we already had Microsoft. Remember, it was working for some time because I was like, I was just gonna, I would go with the leader first. So we closed that one. Then I was like, okay, I would for the next big software names, I would rather just go with this name. So that's why I open up the trade on this stock based on the 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 other screen, which is the Optima. That's what I got, that little buy signal, and I trade. Open the trade. So, but I closed this one yesterday. It's right here, it's 147. Still got a work to do, and we don't have a we don't have a confirmed weekly signal here. Anyways, you can see it's still sitting under a sell signal. This thing is kind of so compressed. It had a buy here that rolled all the way back up, as you can see. And then from here, it's taken a breather after this run, right? The car stock has to cool off at somewhere at some point. So it came back toward this pivot zone. Let me see. Stand aside. Right here, this one. Okay. So this is where the stock had the largest percentage move, okay, on going up, to the way up. So this area right there always going to act as a support to the down, to the on the way down. So it tested it here multiple times, you can see, right? Like in the end, the most important thing is what? The close, right? You don't expect like, what's going on in the whole 5 trading days makes the one weekly candle. So you just have to see like, okay, how it opens, and then you just gonna have to wait for the close until Friday. So if you notice it here for 4 weeks, okay, which is 1 month, right? It has not closed below this area, right? And then it got the pop weeks after later, it came back, retested it again, right? But this is the area you're gonna have to watch, because that's the pivot area. That's the pivot zone right there. That do you actually get to see an actual full close below this or not? So when this area got tested here 4 times in a row, okay, which is 1 month, that act as a very strong support. That's why I just got this bit of a pop right there, but then it faded after for the next 5 more weeks. At 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So then it came back, retested it. So then I had the signal triggered on my other screen, and that's how I opened the trade. I was like, you know what, this area is just swing a. I did a butterfly and just, oops, what happened here? I did a butterfly on that one. Strong name. I mean, um, plus our president is saying it's a great company as well, so I'm pretty sure he's long as well. I mean, IBIT I closed yesterday. I've been long Bitcoin, right? So Bitcoin should take a bit of a breather. Um, so this one worked out well. This one, and we're just gonna open up um a butterfly yesterday, an Oracle. So we gotta give a few days or so on that one to see, to see how it goes. Um, Butterfly already did a outside monthly bar. Okay. Um, the Here is it already had. Jeez, I got so much crap open. So the butterfly. So this one is as the 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 monthly bar. Okay, it's not gonna show here. monthly here anyway. Yeah, because I don't track monthly here because uh, it's that none of the signals works on the monthly anyway. So we can do here. What is this? Oracle right there. You see? Now this one right there, it already has a outside bar. It already engulf. You see, like it took out last month low and the last month high as well. So it turns blue. So once it turns blue, it means it's not going to turn green. It's not going to turn red anymore. It's just going to stay blue for the whole for the rest of the month. Okay. So it is a it is a decent sign that the the you know that it could start uh, moving up a little bit more, but you cannot make anything out of this. Okay, so you gotta have to don't just think like the low is in because the stock popped 26% in 1 week. Okay, you gotta understand the beating here as well. Well, right? So how long technically the stock has been puking from this week when you had the official sell signal triggered until as of yesterday has been 26 weeks, 26 bars, which not from the peak, gives you 51, like almost like 50% decline. But that's, the percentage range is different because we have them on the on a different chart that actually shows the exact swing range. But we're just look at the time here. It's 175 days and 26 weeks, right? So now if you look at here, was 26 weeks from this buy signal here to the sell signal was 26 weeks, 26 bars. So as of yesterday is 26 bars as well, right? So you have two equal time. So every time when the price will see two equal measured moves, but based on price and time, okay, you're always going to see a reaction on that week, on that day. It's a pretty inside secret of trading. It doesn't mean that there's going to be a trend change or something, but that specific week and that specific day, when you have confluence of time and a price matches, you're going to see a response on that particular day. Okay. But these are like a price rallies from here to here took 50 days or 50 weeks. And then you have, meaning technically, you have 50 bars to the upside. And then you have, not, you don't want to take a high here. From here, you have 50 here. So when you have 50 here and 50 here, whatever that 50 days going to end, whichever date, okay, is where you're gonna see the respond right there. Regardless, if you have a signal, if you don't have a signal, what you just gonna see a respond on that particular week, that particular month, that particular day. Okay, this is like, but it's a very kind of advanced technical that I'm trying to tell you. Okay, it happens. I mean, like I don't know, over 90% of the time. Call it 100 sometimes. Okay, it just because when I've studied swings, swings has so much interesting relationships that it really amazed you how these because Swings are they call bar to bar relationship. What does that mean? These bars have relationships. Swings, like the one when they reaches to an equal kind of sound like a measured moves is just when the price will show us some sort of a response, one way or another. That doesn't mean that that is the low because you still need to have more, you need to see more, have to have, more confirmation about it. But at the same time, you got to understand one thing: one day pop on a daily chart, a sell off or a big, huge move, one big candle on a weekly doesn't define trend. Okay. It does not. So don't get super excited over, oh, I just want to jump on all these software names because they moved quite a bit. I mean, the stock just moved from here to here, for God's sake. I mean, what is so special here? Tell me, what do you see some anything special here? But you getting so excited over a one single bar. Here's a big flush right there. So now if you measure this to this, do you see any difference? You tell me, do you see any difference between this week and this week? It's the same size, Sabar, same size. Look the same as well. You got a wick right here up on the top, you got a wick down there on the bottom. But look at the time in between. 3, 6, 7, 8. 2 months. You know? Get the thing out of your head all the time. Oh, but the low is in, top is in, this and that. Just, that's what everybody is chasing is like this stock has a double bottom right now with two wicks right there. Yeah. It's gonna take weeks and months, but we would have much better conviction, okay, to open up something to the upside once we will have an official buy signal here. We don't. Technicals are not confirming that yet, you know? So the rotation first has to do the work and then signal triggers. Then we will say, like, okay, now we have the official buy signal. Fine. Well, you were trying to be cute because you want to pay $140, but now I'm going to buy something that's going to cost me $175, right? Everybody thinks the same way, like, oh, well, I should have bought something here. Now I'm going to pay more. That's not the point. The point is going to be is once this thing's going to trigger, is going to give you the exact where the stoppage point is going to be if the price does back reverse backs down. It defines your risk for you. But your approach is to blindly buy something because you think that the price has already dipped enough, is already looked cheap, because I'm just going to buy. It's just a two different approach, two different mindset. You either wait for confirmation or you simply don't. You just say like, okay, I'm just gonna buy something, just gonna hold my breath. So if you are at that kind of a trader that I'm just gonna pick something here, I might get lucky to this point, and then this happens because you know this thing for a fact that this is still intact. It will shift the course when this triggers. That's not going to trigger on just a 1 week of a movement to the upside. You look at the drawdown, look at the time that is took. The stock has been down for how many months? It's been down since October. You already passed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You're in a 6 month right now. That's like what? Almost half a year. Half a year. Think about it for a second. Half a year, you're in a position that a stock is just like it's on a downtrend. Don't just the point that I'm trying to make is don't get obsessed with these tops and bottoms. Okay, trade in the middle. Those are the most successful traders in the end, anyways. Nobody has ever um, the got lucky picking top and bottom. Yeah, you can get lucky here and there, but your odds are so damn low, you know, to call it like, oh, I nailed the bottom on this one. I picked up such a good entry. Yeah, it happens. It happens to everyone. You happen to pick something up, really nice entry, and and then the stock just moves up from there and hardly ever backs off. But look, what are your odds for those entries, for those perfect, cute entries that you're trying to pick from the bottom, and you're just gonna that eventually is gonna turn into a trend. It takes time. Yeah, it's brutal. Like, we've been talking about these software names for a very long time. Software is just the most the the brutal sector basically with all these names that this year is all like all these stocks that just all the beating that it took. Look at Ziegler. This is crazy. I love I'm gonna buy again, but I'm just gonna I mean, this was a stock that you all know that I've killed this stock on the way up. Last year. Look at that. It's a complete washout. The stock is the same thing right there. So it's a very good company, but down for like 22 weeks, you know, it's down like what 40% for the year. It just I mean, I'm not rushing into it or something. I know software names are taking a quite a bit of hit, and they're you know there's some companies they're pretty good. It really worth buying something, but I'm gonna buy once I will have the official buy signal. So just put this thing in your head. I'm not gonna rush into it all because I want to buy something here. I don't care. You know, we'll buy something once we will have a real confirmation with rotation. Rotation will come first. It will confirm the signal and we're going to buy. In the meantime, we'll keep hunting other names. Okay. I'm not worried about another two, like 5, 10 point move to the upside. Our job is not to sit and pick bottoms. Our job is try to trade in the middle with the confirmation once we get the real confirmation. You know, this stock right there, I've been bullish on this stock. So, um, I picked up this stock. I've studied this stock, and it's a very good company. Okay, if you get a chance, read them out over the weekend. They have strong earnings. 10 times better than PayPal and all the firms and all the other ones, right? So it's a good company. Is that the stock has just been coiled right now? Okay, it's gonna. I mean, it can reverse back down as well. Nobody knows. There's a pretty good chance that the stock should. I have at least like $100 target on this. At least I can double the shares that I have. That would be really nice. Sitting at a 80 now, I had a huge move this week. This stock rallied 35%. So this is the bullish engulfing candle as well. Okay. So I came across because this is not an S&P 500 stock anyways, so I just kind of looking through and came I just started looking at their fundamentals, their balance sheets and stuff. So I was like, this looks pretty good. It backed off quite a bit. So I picked up an entry here and then It rallied, as you can see how much it backs off. And then is this stock for like 5 months basically now, I would say. It's pretty much sideways. It's very coiled. It's a lot of energy is building here now. So this stock is going to make a crazy move next. I don't know. I hope this, okay, because it already has taking took this much time to the downside. When you have this kind of a energy built for 5 months, and if the stock is going to move, it's going to move fast. Okay, so well, obviously this is what I want, but will depends if the if it's gonna work out in my favor. Um, Upside is 105, 124, 152. All-time high is 186. I mean, I have my finger crossed to see if the stock can do this. That would be the ideal move. Basically form like a round bottom, you know, then sort of like some sort of a pullback here down the road. It's gonna take months and months. That is kind of a little the kind of like a future kind of picture in my head right now, is to do this and then whatever this. So it just again, I'm thinking way ahead of, that could, but the way the price is forming right now, it might turns into that. But again, we will let the, I always say, let the chart do the talking, and we just sit back and we just kind of sit back and wait. It's a long-term hold, that I'm pretty comfortable holding. If I have to trim it down a little bit, I can. So I have a pretty huge size position open on my client's account as well. The money that I manage for other guys. Um, So we'll see what happens. I mean, I have others working as well, so this is just the one of them. So I like this name, um, so I'm hoping that this thing can make a move up. So I think Brian had said yesterday, bottom on his dad's account or something. So it's a good cheap. I mean, it's now it's 80. I mean, right around here, I think. I mean, you still um, trying to get something here where all the energy is building. They call, it's basically it's a coil chart. Okay, it's very coiled for the last 5 months. So it's gonna show a response one way or another. I mean, I hope it won't puke, but um depends. Okay. Um 9 o'clock. We're gonna be one more hour. I'm gonna be done. Just a 2 hour session. I'm gonna stay on time. Let's go through. So we did all these Disney tree hymns double by Nike is that's a freaking joke. Dark is fine. Okay, so we gotta give some time and see what's the other ones, how they're gonna move. These are all closed here anyways. Oracle, that's a new one open yesterday. So I closed bunch of them and carried over a few here that will manage. I just need I'm just looking at the numbers and stuff yesterday. I mean, we already passed a century mark, as you can see here. It's 101 now since September, since we've been tracking this. So we'll see. I mean, I was saying yesterday, um, the the we'll see how it goes. I was, if I could, I'm looking and see what else pops up on a scanner. If I could pick up like a good 4 or 5 good trades, I want to jump. We can boost this number up pretty quick. Some like 45, 50% return. This number is gonna move up quite a bit. So I need like 4 or 5 good trades. So I'll find it. find it. It's not a matter of it all depends what shows up on a scanner. All right, back to this. Hourly chart, March lows. I did kind of change this one. I was keeping the wave two down here. Okay. I mean, technically supposed to stay here, right? The reason why it being is I don't like I never you cannot call well, first of all, you have to look at this way that this was a you can count this as a three-way move. Okay. A three-way move, once you put a low here, this was this because it gaps down, right? And then this was the bar right there, and then you had a next bar open. So when you look at this bar from here, from this low, when the bar low was, when you look at from here, here, and here, it's a three-way move. Okay. I I I kept this one here first, and I was like, that's not right. Sorry, the talking backward. Let me do this. I can actually show you like this. Okay. So putting a two here and then you trying to count one, two. Okay. This is not a wave one. This. This is a three-way move. This. So wave one cannot be a three-way move. You need five. So you gotta pay it, as I say, you don't have to worried about labels. I know if something will change, it's gonna change everything to the top anyways. Okay, so I mean, I will, again, these are 1 hour charts that, first of all, I shouldn't be showing to anyone. It can change really fast. As you can see here, like this one gives you 7,089. This one gives you 7,154. It's gonna change everything to the top. So I was back to this. So what are we gonna do? So let's go from March lows, made a complex, three down, three up. Like I did it here. A, B, C down, A, B, C up, A, B, C down. So this Y wave, right? 61 point, it's a typical retracement of a Y wave. Okay. 23.6, 2 versus 1. So they both of them are working side by side, as you can see. Okay, which is perfect. That's exactly what we want. Is to these suckers lines up side by side. Okay, March low, 1, WXY down in 2, 2 versus 23.6% retracement, straight move up toward the 200% extension. So I did a few screenshot yesterday as well, try to show like wait for the respawn here. It's a very sticky fib. Okay, you don't instantly gonna break this. Okay, the market is gonna show you some sort of a respawn here when you're gonna reach this zone, this area. So I'll put a little area, the circle here. Okay, these are the zones that we watch. Remember, we always talk about when it comes to a wave count, we build zones to the downside and to the upside. Market will reach the certain zone. You watch and see how the price will react. Market is going to show some sort of a response to a certain, once I will start stacking up these fibs and then price progress more, then we can open more upside. But we're not going to entertain all this upside, but it has to go through those phases first. It has to clear this to get here, and then we'll worry about more upside. Well, there's no point for me to keep them showing $7,700, 7,700 price extensions to the upside. It's gonna take time to get there. So regardless, now the point is the the even the fact that the price is making higher low, higher highs, right? So the trend is clearly to the upside, right? So you had a swing low, swing high, price backs off like this, whatever you want to mark it for, according to the swing, that's the higher low right here. And then from here, the price made a higher high. And then from there, the price has been rallying up in the third wave. So this is where we are as of yesterday close. Now we're in the weekend now. Now the question comes in that is there going to be a shakeout? Oh, anything is possible, especially in these days. So we don't know if the third ends here, backs off a little bit, goes right back up. We just don't know. Okay. But we do see what is in front of us is where do we have our first zone is this. Okay. Between 7154 to 7200. This is our zone. Where's the zone on this one? 647 and 651. Okay. So it's the same 200 here, 200 here, which is 3 versus 1, right? Now, tech, as you all know, that it's always moves when the broader tech is going to move, is always going to have more upside compared to the S&P, you know? So the price, as you can see, is already poking real close to this 161 mark. 161 is sitting way up here to 72.88, you know? So it's been rallying, but it's not as, you can't just match. As you can see, the price of this low has almost reached 161.8. This one did not. So this one's sitting right there, right? Which is fine because you're always going to have more upside here anyways. So it's the same thing on the way down. So when the tech comes down, tech always going to have a bigger drag than the S&P 500. Okay. So it's the same thing on the going up as well. So this is where we at. Um, Now the question is that are gonna start backing off a little bit? Well, we're gonna find out and see what happens. So then we'll look for this fourth to come into a play, okay, which needs to behave and stay in a bit of a shape to this. Okay, so then we will look for our typical 4 versus 3, 4 versus 2. Okay, so that's going to be the fourth wave setback, whatever it depends how steep is, what kind of a shape is going to make, complex, flat, zigzag, who knows, triangle, no idea. Okay, so it all depends where the low is. And if you're going to move up, everything, like everything is going to start moving up and down. So yeah, these hourly is they they're going to change really like these that the time frame is going to change really fast. So we'll see how each session goes. We've been well on track on this one. I mean, again, I'm not fighting any tops, neither I'm fighting any bottoms. I mean, I know the vertical move the market has made has literally shook everyone's head, like what the hell happened, you know? And the only thing, knock on wood, that I'm at least on the right side of the market. I'm not getting killed on puts being an edge like, oh, this is a fake move and I want to short this market. I mean, a market can drop, S&P can drop 40 points on Monday or 50 point, and that doesn't mean that it's a trend change either. So, 1, 2 session is not going to make the trend either. So any kind of a setback, I think there's people they who missed out on this move are gonna start. are gonna start loading up again. You know, there the the market trend is clearly to the upside. Okay, it was and still it was never bearish. Even the fact that the market does pull back 9% on a very choppy way, and it's a clear, uptrend. There's no denial here. You can you can sit and call the fake upside, and we never like whatever the case you wanted to make. Okay, I mean it's it's a confirmed upside, and just how we're just gonna hunt we're gonna hunt for dips. Okay, so buy here, got the sell here. We did took advantage of put trade to the downside. These 2 weeks got a little bit of a shakeout here. That I don't have anything here that time, and I had a clear buy signal here. So don't. I mean, if you're trying to sit and time those Q dips, well, I mean, fine. Good luck with that. Um, I'm just, if I'm gonna, if we do wanna play some counter trend move or something, fine. We can scale something. I'm not, I'm not looking to position anything to the downside. Let's just, I can tell you that. Okay. So we have a clear buy signal. Okay. Market is responding. Signal is held. Price is making higher high. Okay. Well, deal with it. Okay. Keep your thinking, your emotions, and all the kind of a timing tools that you has lingering in your head day and night, where the market is going to be top and where the market is going to crash. Okay, well, fine. I guess you have too much time in your life to think that far. I think that's going to happen. Okay, you can't predict nothing. So just stop wasting your time. Trade what is in front of you. Okay, weekly defines the trend. Swing is up, signal is up. Well, we're gonna be doing a lot of dip buyings. Okay, so breadth is good. Looks pretty decent. Um, we just focus right now is all on growth stocks. Um, that rotation is the one that is shifting now. That will progress over in the coming weeks. Okay. You have this our our queen who's super obsessed with these midterms and all that kind of stuff. We'll deal with it when we're gonna get there. I mean, there's no. I'm not positioning something to the midterm, to the end of the year. Okay, we'll see how it goes. We 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 go over our technicals every single week on our Zoom calls, as you can, and we just focus on what we see on the screen. What is gonna happen here? Well, I don't know. I just don't know. Where are we gonna go? How far are we gonna go? And how many we're gonna back? It's just like these kind. I just don't know that. Is this thing is gonna happen like this? Who knows? Who knows? You know. But the point right now is like the the trend is up, swing is up, correct? You need 3 weeks of lower lows anyways to flip the trend back to the downside. That's a fact. So you need 3 weeks of lower lows. So we have 2 weeks left on this. So you basically need next week lower low. Basically, you need to come back down here to take out 67.84. Then you need another week. Then you need another week to and then confirmation here for a sell signal, and it's a whole process. I mean, it's just because some of you needs to change your little logic and kind of thinking about how to read a chart. Some of you, I guess, don't. I don't think you understand. All you worried about is just what the price is doing. That's what you would say, like, "Oh, this is what I will pay." I don't think you fully understand how what XD chart is telling you. These things, these signals right there will you not. It's pure mechanical. Okay, it's nothing related to your personal opinions. You can sit with anyone over the week and talk about as much as you want. Okay, we're running a wave counts here and stuff. It's all, that's all. It's all good. Here we have weekly, here we have 1 hour chart, and we're looking at the daily signals as well, like all over the place. Because we want to catch every turn. It doesn't happen. You know, all three and here comes I'm gonna position the fourth here. Then I'm gonna see, and then you can't do that. If Elliott Wave has given everyone such a clean the roadmap, you think I wouldn't be retired by now? For 18 years I've been doing this thing. You think I wouldn't play it every single turn? Where the three end and where the fourth is and where the fifth is? Doesn't work that way. You can't play every turn. Nobody can. So we'll see. Okay. Bigger picture is this. Um, April low. Stock is the price has been spot on ever since. Um, Up in one, down in two, three versus one, down in four toward this. That's a typical four versus three, 23.6. 64, put a low at 63. I know that a lot of people thinking like we're gonna come. I mean, it can possible that we're gonna come back down and retest this. Yeah, that didn't happen. I mean, yeah, your levels are there, but that doesn't mean that market is gonna pay you right to that. So right to the print. Um, some kind of slice through it. Some they don't even come close to it. Just the way it is. That's just your longer term support. Um, I'm only keeping it. I mean, we could do if you want to go real aggressive, you can do this as well. Okay. One, two, three, four, five. So instead of putting one here, you can easily do that. Both ways is fine. Okay, so this one right there would be you have a complete, so you have a clear three-wave drawdown and two, and then from the two right there, you make in a one, two, three, four, five to complete a one smaller degree, three-wave correction to the downside of wave two that we put here, a March low, and now the price has already made a higher high, already confirmed this low anyways, because you already have a higher high up to the top. So this is a confirmed low. And then from here, you either go as a smaller one and then smaller two. So that if we're doing this is it's a very aggressive wave count for the coming months and stuff. You know, I mean, I could do that as well. I mean, it's gonna take a long time to get that confirmation, but we don't have that. I need to see, the stuff that I watch. I'm not gonna go through them. It's gonna take all day. Cycles has to reset for me to show that kind of expansion to the upside to make the case of a third of a third. Okay, so I mean, stock, I mean, S&P doesn't move 50% in one single year anyways. So it's not gonna, you're not gonna sit here and thinking like, oh, S&P is going to 9,000 in one single year. It doesn't work that way. Okay, the average is 10%, and a solid good year could be in a double digit, could be 20, 21%. That's just in a double digit for a very solid growth that we have in the overall economy for the market to close up like this. So it's up 13% off the low. It was down 10.84 from this peak. So more upside, very short on time, as you can see, because it was down 9 weeks, it's up 2 weeks. So very short on time, but we already exceeded the range to the prior to the prior swing. Prior swing was down 10% or up at 13%, right? Is more. Upside is always going to be greater. Okay, cannot be shorter. It's always like this. You come down 10%, you're going to go up more than 10% once you're going to take out that previous swing, the swing high, which was this. So that area actually is going to become this 7,000. This area right there is going to become a pretty um, thick layer of support here, because that was the pivot. It was the high pivot. Okay. This was a low pivot right there. So the 10 bar, I don't know, you guys know much about pivots and stuff. 10 bar, 20 bars. 10 bar pivot was that, and the 10 bar pivot low was 65.21. Okay. So now that pivot area right there, any kind of a dip right there is gonna. So I'm really thinking about to structure a butterfly. But I want butterfly. But the thing is, this is not gonna help us with these wild moves. Butterfly doesn't like that. Okay, that's just the worst. Butterfly benefits in a chop. We don't have a chop in a market, and butterfly can handle bit of an upside and downside, but not these kind of a massive 10% moves in a matter of like it's just not gonna. It depends how you structure it. If you can tilt a bit more to the upside, but it's just not, the reward is not going to be there. A better butterflies are very lazy trades. Just let the the premium, just let it melt day by day. Those are the ideals one. That doesn't mean I'm going to do another one, but I'm watching. I'm trying to price out and we have massive throwovers on these cycles on the cycles now on the daily time frame. Nothing really much on the weekly. Weekly is all good. Weekly was good with this with the dip that we took, you know. So I mean, that's the main thing that we always wanted to watch. We don't want to have the loss of momentum, okay, on the curve that's starting to uh, on the cycle. Yeah, we don't want that. So this is daily is on the back end. I'm just worried about this. So this is good. Um, I was looking at this one. I actually updated posted this one the on back on the Twitter February 6th, and the price was at 105.56. That 161.8. That was a zone that I built. So that was, I remember that tweet posting it on that was around like 8 o'clock or so at night. And 105.56, 105.56, and which is here, 105.56. The low was 104.17. That was the low. So first upside projection was 150. Right now the 166. So it's gonna work because it took such a huge dip. So it's gonna have to grind on his way up. It actually hit here on March, not yesterday, right there. So I was not, I don't have position open. Okay. Um, and I'm not, I mean, I took IBIT, I'm not dying to trade these proxies. Bitcoin, I mm, track the spot price, look at the futures. I mean, just if I want to play a Bitcoin move, I'll just go with IBIT, you know, that tracks the real spot price. And these ones are, it doesn't mean it can go up. I mean, yeah, it can turn into a trend, but it's gonna take time. Yeah, these are weekly bars, so week after week is we'll see how it progress from there. So next upside is 200, 215, 200 mark. So I mean, here on the weekly, there's nothing here. So 29.45% upside just for this. Yeah, but yeah, it's been down for how long? 39 weeks. So I'm not gonna get too excited over a 1 week of a price movement. Even the fact that I laid out this here, could have picked something here, blindly buy something, might say like, hey, nail the move back to 150, blah blah. Yeah, no, I'm not, fine. If it works, it works. I can give you 10 different charts. 7, 8 of them can play out. It doesn't mean I have to open all positions on that, every single one of them. Other one is Tesla Nightmare. Where is the wave converter? Here. So the story on this one is massive retracement to the downside, as you can see. Um, nothing, I mean, nothing confirmed to the upside here either. So, oops, 5 waves up. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 versus 5, 50% retracement up in 5. So we got 5 waves up, very kind of choppy kind of decline, 3 waves down. But this 3 wave has went all the way down to 78.6. You see? I mean, typical retracements are right in this zone. So we had a trade that we closed, plus we had the earnings come in. Right around here is most of the time the wave 2 comes back and settles. It was at 385, but this sucker went all the way down to 78.6. So it's a very because overall market getting took that 10% dip to the downside. That's not the word. The Tesla is going to go vertical. So it went all the way here. Now it's trying to work its way up. So let's track it from here. What do we see? What we see here is, first thing first, we come here. We don't have anything here, right? So it's still under, but we're gonna watch. We might get something on Monday. So it's been 16 weeks. So 16 weeks is what, 4, 8, 12, 3.5 months, correct? With time. So it's been 3.5 months, over a quarter. Stock is down 10.92 for the year. Up month is up, week 14. No, some special candle here anyways. So first week is up now because the stock was down for 8 straight weeks before. Remember? So which we were tracking it here. Where the heck it went? Here. So this was 8 weeks of drawdown. And then I was put this line here connecting this low, and this low. Well, that's where it came. We don't know what the low was. So when you're connecting these two, it came, the trend line came here. So it got a 1 week bounce after being down for 8 straight weeks. Okay, so 8 weeks and RSI was completely washed out. As you can see here, now it backed up to 61. So it was a washed out RSI with 8 weeks drawdown, and we got a 1 week of a pop so far. Okay, so it's still 20, still has some shadow from the top. So from here, still off. No, here the close is 19% off from 500 mark. So I think what it tells right now is the trend line held. It clearly did, as you can see. So that's definitely something that you guys gotta watch. Okay. So based on this, now we don't have a buy signal. We were trying to see if we could have a 8 swings from kind of here to have a potential kind of bottom. So we could make a case here for a 5-way move. Go here to a 1 hour chart here. So we mark that low, this low, right? So, so we mark this low right there. Now we can count some sort of a 5-way from here. Yeah, like this, right? So go like this. It's a smaller time frame. Is always kind of tricky how to lay this thing and decompose. 1, 2, 3, extended 5, 4, something like this. You know. So if this is it, now you should look for at least a 3-way move back to the downs to the every 5-way move will have a counter trend move to the downside, right? So we do this. I'm starting to pick up my old speed a little bit. I've been kind of doing a little Elliott. I like Elliott Wave when the price is dipping to the downside. That's when the when it comes to find a support, okay, Elliott Wave comes really handy. You know, upside, I don't need it. Swings, I can do the same upside up, meaning to run the upside projections. The extensions, I can just do from the swings. I don't need the wave count for that. Bottom, yes. Elliott Wave nails really good bottoms. Really, really good. It showed you on um, see 105.56. The low was 104.41. Elliott Wave, because Elliott is just is gonna build us the. I know how to build these zones. When these zones stays intact, and you're gonna see it respond. If it clears it, then what it is. It's all about clustering, like multiple fibs all together. But as soon as you're gonna start seeing a huge confluence of fibs, they're all getting really, really close to each other. Yeah, price gonna has to, it's gonna show you some response. It's not just a one single fib. So I mean, if Tesla really gonna take off, I mean, you could kind of this is a stock is always like that. Once the sucker runs, it's gonna run. You know, I mean, you could simply go as a you just you just absolutely don't know. Okay, so we just do this. That's just obviously that is all depends on earnings and what he has to say on the conference call, and then it's the SpaceX, the IPO. So that would be that's another thing. So you see, I can do all this all day long, and now you probably like sitting and thinking like, what the hell just happened? You know? First, I was looking at a completed five-way move and hoping like, oh, there's a dip coming. Okay, well, the dip is gone. Now you're looking at this. You see how fast 1 hour can change? This is the reason that I don't post these ones to anyone. I can do it from when I watch and sitting on my desk. Um, I'm I'm watching this and I can make multiple cases. I know how to make change like how to make wave counts in multiple ways, not just one way. That's just just have like okay, plan A, plan B. Okay, which way the price will go? Plan A, the bottom line is both cannot be wrong. There's nothing wrong with this one. And I always say like, okay, well, no, we just say like, okay, we were looking for just a completed five-way move here. Let me just go this way. I'd rather do this other than that, other than what I just showed you before. The reason why is that is because there's nothing here. So when we have confirmation here, then we look up. Then I can adjust all that. So that's why I said it's just like it's very hard to trade just the one. I mean, I can. It's like a couple days ago or something. I told us like, you guys, I know love Elliott Wave, this and that. I'm not gonna do this every day. Just keep that thing in mind. I'm in a mood right now, and it's gonna stop. It takes a lot of time, and I cannot do. I want to find trades for everyone. I have scans and have to run scans, look at a bunch of things, rotations and all that kind of stuff. I can't sit here and dance around these moving labels up and down, and you sit and scratch in your head. Oh, is it a five-way move? Are we expecting a fourth down and up five and this and that? I mean, you can go either or. I'd rather stay like this because once we'll have confirmation on the other side, then we'll make the case to the upside. Then I'll adjust it. But this is the concept that most people don't understand. They're thinking like, oh, just make one wave count, or your wave count is keep changing all the time. You know? Oh, well, if you don't, okay, well, price, so does the price is changing. So your wave count is going to change as well. Show me one technical, it's going to stay the same way throughout the whole course. It's very subjective, you know? So so we'll see what happens. I'd rather just stay here and 195 is almost my favorite time frame. So I'd rather just go five for now, like this. I just showed you. Kind of give a little shakeout here into an earnings, and then from there to see if we do get some sort of a confirmation. I rather Like if we end up having this look, it will be ideal. Okay. But the reason why I'm saying that is because it's gonna be a really uh, some sort of a pattern that we can play as well. Okay. So there's multiple ways that you could look at a chart. Okay. A wave count can turn into a pattern along with the wave count, with the with the signals and things like this. So there's so many ways that you can analyze a price, but that's just not gonna give you five different ways to. It's just one single price. So there's many ways you can do that. But first thing is first, rotation. Second, confirm signal. Once we will have a confirmed signal, okay, now we'll buy something. Any dip or something for a day or two in a single session during the day, fine, we'll handle it. At least you position when you have the confirmation. Positioning before any confirmation without rotation or without a signal is a tough bet. It is a tough bet. I've learned my lesson for years and years and years. Again, it's very hard to fight a downswing. You're just hoping that the next 3 weeks that price will make a higher high for this thing to turn into a trend. The trend is down, the trend is down. There's no denial. You see it right in you. So you trade what is in front of you, what shows on a screen. Mag 7, I've done. Tesla is down, Microsoft is down, Google is down, Apple is down. These are the four weekly swings which are down right now. Only the ones that are up is Amazon, Meta, Netflix, and Nvidia. That's it. And the reason why they're up, and you can see what the stock is doing. The ones with the swing down, you know what these stocks are doing. You see that it tells you. I took these screenshots yesterday as well and showed to you at the close. So you pay attention to these things. Data is one thing, technical is another thing, cycle timing is another thing. They're all not the same. Downswing will reflect the downswing, the change in price. So one thing for her, this one was, remember this? Look at this one. 1.0 and 2.0. Pretty good chart. COVID low. He was a sitting president. Made a full V-shape reversal. Up 63%. Setback of 10%. Right? And then from here, price rallied. So 33.89 was a peak. 21.91 was a COVID trough. Right? Where it's not about anything else. It's all about his term. Okay, his first term, and now his second term. Okay, Biden came in there after that, fine. But we're not talking about him. We're talking about current president right now. Down, up 10%. This one, the high right there is 61.47, as we all know. Tariff low, April low, 21% dip. V-shape reversal from here, 44.4. So 44.4 compared to 63. Same dip right there. 10% reset. Another higher high. That's it. His term is literally repeating exactly what happens with him and on his first term. So that's what this chart is all about, side by side. 1.0, 2.0. Okay, there's nothing else to it. How far we'll go? Okay, well, we have other ways to look at them. MP, this stock is minerals are kind of cooling off. Um, Here, looking at this rotation the other day. So a lot of these stocks on a weekly, um, they're gonna cool off because these it's a lot of these rats that which makes no money. Okay, then like kind of took a big advantage of this AI boom last year. So the first quarter has been kind of, weakening. A lot of them are just, just gonna, it's gonna go into a full quarter, second quarter. So there's some of these wild runs that the stock had, they just eventually all cooling off now in the next coming weeks. So there's nothing here. I mean, I don't know any of these names. This is the one it has the potential right now. The MP material. The government is involved in this one as well. So this is a pretty well supported stock. So based on that, um, I went to, again to the weekly time frame here. As you can see, had a huge move up. This is the descending wedge pattern, right? Look at this through that little cute um, wick on the week right there. And I kind of like the close yesterday because the close was here and it kind of sneaked out. Wedges are like really kind of, it drops and then the price kind of like contract, kind of, you can see how the price is squeezing, right? So the price kind of squeeze like this in descending pattern, and then what happens is the price just get a respond. That's the pattern, is basically just looking for a breakout. A bearish one on the ascending ones on the other direction. There's a descending one, so that just technically because it's kind of following this upside path, this one. So just and then you just oops, then you just kind of look for this kind of move to the upside. So rotation has, because I was running this one, that's why it pops up on in the morning in the pre-market. I run scans in the morning, midday, and then at the end, how everything closes and stuff. So I'm like, that's what I do pretty much every day. So that's why this name shows up. So well, 72 is this swing high here. So that's 60 right now. That would be the first upside target, I would say, for now. And then if week 2, 3, 4 weeks, if it makes its way up from there, then we'll see what happens. So that's the MP. Swing is still down. You still need another one more week up to confirm. And you see it's down right now. So you have 2 weeks. So next week is going to be very interesting for this because it has to fight to to make another high above 64.31. That's this week high. So any um, um, high above 64.31 next week, okay, against this low right here, which is 48.57, will flip the swing to the upside. So once you will have a confirmed swing here, yeah, then there's a pretty good potential it's gonna get to 74 plus. So it has a little work to do because this is at the early, where it went here. It is on an early phase. Okay. So it's due for this. So this is very interesting. MP. That's the only name. Rest, no, absolutely not. No other rats. This is the only one that if you like some minerals and stuff.
Do you have critical mineral in RRG?
No. I only have this. I don't know who this guy, what's his name?
Yesterday, critical mineral popped to like 35% in a day.
Okay. I don't know. I don't watch this because these are, like when I run scans and stuff, they're all on S&P, and these minerals are not in the S&P index. It's just not gonna the it doesn't show. So rest is let's see.
I think that the U.S. government has a stake in critical mineral as well as
They
MP.
invest it doesn't didn't he the Trump put money in this MP material?
Yes, that's the first one. And then second was the USAR, I think. And then the third one was the critical mineral.
What is that one? US what?
I think it is USAR.
Oh, the
Yeah,
rare earth.
yeah. That's it.
Oh, this one triggered a buy signal as sorry, the go signal yesterday.
And the critical mineral as well. So I think that those three government rare earth companies that government has stake on, I think they're
Mhm.
popping right now.
You see, like this stock right there is so hard to trade. Okay. First of all, it doesn't have any kind of a established trend, you know? This is a weekly chart. I mean, you have basically it's a very like a new chart. You see, like you have a low here and you have a high here, right? And all you have is just this non-liquid stock. It doesn't have enough liquidity either. Just look at these wild moves. You have a floor and a ceiling. You can't label this kind of a charts like this, especially because you just don't have enough data. Very new, you know? This stock was like literally dead for a while, and all of a sudden it just becomes the hottest stock. Stock made quite a bit of move, went all the way from here to probably like what 43 or so. And then it just, okay, everything cools off. People get like, okay, fine, you know? And then look at the
I see
drawdown.
triangle.
Drawdown here from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You see, like for 6 weeks in a row, like everybody literally just flushed out everything. Then made up this is probably a 78.6% failure for sure. So you can draw your fibs from here. Yeah, well, 61 basically right there. So it's 31.55, almost at 61%. Backed off again. This one probably 78.6 now. From here. Yeah, there you go. 78.6 against this low. So for 4 weeks, 3 weeks, last 3 weeks, it was fighting as hell to hold the 78.6. Now I just got this pop back to 61. So it still doesn't, I mean, it's just a range bound swing chart. That's all it is. There's nothing else to it. I mean, looking for a clear breakout or something, it has a lot of work to do. But if the swing turn direction, yeah, there's a possibility it can climb back up, 21, 24, 27. I mean, you still got to get to this 32, and then, you're worried about more upside. So it's still got a lot of work. So same thing here on this one as well. Got 2 weeks up. So next week is the one that you gotta watch and see if it makes another higher high. That's when the swing will flip. You know. So yeah, that was the MPI. I can delete that. I need this. Um, gold signal here. It says, I mean, the market has a pretty damn confirmation, to be honest. Multiple time frames. Not, I wouldn't say multiple time frame. Multiple technical triggering a same direction. Okay. Mine shows on the other one that we just looked at them. This weekly shows a go signal here, go, no go, you know. So you had a go signal here since last week. Yeah, I mean, I would say like any dip, that would be absolutely a good buying opportunity, you know. So I know we have a tons and tons of earnings coming as well. So we're gonna have um the wars with tweets, and then at the same time we're gonna have earnings. So any dip will come, most likely can can reverse the course with the strong earnings as well. So this next 2 3 weeks is gonna be little um watch these big names to see how they do. What do we have next week? Alaska Dynamic, nothing there, just all garbage. Three, yes, okay. United Healthcare, Robotic, United, uh, nothing really. Boeing, oh, that's the one to watch. Healthcare, yes, these are the big ones. Of course, these are the ones that move the sector. There's industrial, oh, that Tesla is here. Service now is completely beat up stock. IBM, Texas Lam, LVS looks really good. LVS got a nice pop as well. Somebody was sending me a message yesterday. I think he picked it up. LVS. Um, I hate looking at stocks after when market close. Okay. And at the same thing, like before when the market opens and after close. I hate running scans and I hate looking at charts because you like something at that time. And then I write the ticker on because I have a notepad next to me. I'm always an old school. And then I will say like, okay, and then market opens, the sucker's gonna already gonna gap up. I was like, come on, it happens to me all the time. And I was just like, you know what, screw it. I'm not gonna even look at it. I'm just gonna run scans when market is actually moving. You know, much easier. So just to those pre-market scans and stuff, they're just yeah, they're all good, but just doesn't. You want to get in as low as possible when you see something good, and then something already popped like 6 7 8% right away. So we're gonna chase higher prices. FCA, there's a lot of industrial stuff. Newmont, yeah, nothing. PG, yeah, I think the following week is when we're gonna have the real show. So yeah, I mean, basically, what we're United, Boeing, that's gonna be the main one, and this, which is not this is not a macro stock for the overall market. You all know that. This is not like something that the Tesla is gonna move, and so does the S&P. No, yeah, nothing to do, and no, not does the NDX or something. No, just thing just trades and doing it his own. So it has this. Um, Rest we don't. I mean, we can do a weekly and we're gonna wrap this thing up. All swings are up across the board. I know that this one fell a little bit behind, but almost there. So this one is off by 2% off the highs, right? So got a little bit more work to do. This one already cleared. This one already cleared. This one's already cleared. So they all to the upside. Last thing I want to show, where the heck it went? This. Okay, I just want you to listen to me really good so you understand how is this. Let me just get rid of all that. I need this. Oh boy. Okay. I'm going to explain it to you one more time and the last time. Okay. Price and time, they're two different things. Okay. This 40-week cycle that we're tracking since from the last 4 years, basically since the bear market low, which was here 34.91, the real actual cycles gets drawn from the pivot points. You have to look for the major pivots. And then from there, you count the time forward. Okay. And then keep seeing, like, okay, what happens once the first, the high pivot and the low pivot was formed here. So the duration of this entire decline was 40 weeks. We're not worried about price. Price will do its work. We're calculating time. Time has nothing to do with price. Okay? It has nothing to do with that. That doesn't mean that, so we're counting this, that how much time it took from one pivot to another pivot low, pivot high and pivot low. What was the time duration of the entire decline was? 27%. That's the price now, not the time. So from here, we keep counting 40, 40, 40, 40, 40 weeks moving forward. And when you track a certain cycle, you can throw a moving average on it. Okay. So you can just turn this into a 40. Why 40? Because you're tracking a 40 time. 40 time will adjust the 40 moving average because that's based on 40 bars as well. So 40 weeks is 40 bars because 1 week is 1 bar, correct? So the moving average that you can use has to be the same time that you're trying to track. That's counting 40 bars back as well. So you use that as your hint. That doesn't mean that it's gonna be just the guide that you kind of say, like, okay, if the price managed to stay above the moving average, yeah, the price is bullish, right? If it comes down a little bit, doesn't mean that it's that's it, that's moving, like that's the end of the world. That's not what it is. The price will do its work. But the point is how and what market does when the clock resets. Okay. So the clock starts here. So when was the next time the clock started? Back here. That's when another 40 weeks ended. Correct? Right here. Right here. This line. So from here, from this low to this, now we have a time window. So our time window is there. Now we just gotta have to see, like, okay, what is our structure is showing where the price is at. Now we have our window between from here to here. This is our window now. Now, what price will do here, we're gonna track it on a day-to-day and week-to-week basis. It has nothing to do. This is there. Now, this doesn't tells you that, yeah, as soon as you're gonna hit this time is gonna be a trend change. No, a trend change based on the direction of a trend when it changes based on the swings. That's when you get the confirmation and a trend change, not when this time will hit the clock. Oh, that's it. Oh, now the market is going to puke. If the market is on the uptrend, reaching to that time clock, okay, Okay, now the time, okay, so new cycle started, right? So you know, like, okay, the cycle ended last week, all right? New week started, new weekly candle opens, all right? Now you know, like, okay, now this window has time goes all the way up till here. So your time gets drawn. So all you're doing is you have a price, you wrapped around the time window. Okay, that doesn't cycles don't define high lows trend change. Structure does. This is structure. This. So right now, if this, so where we were, so let me just mark these ones so you will know where the actual clock was started. This, and then copy paste this, right? So what you see here is that every 40 weeks time window, there is a 10% setback in the market. It happens here. It happens in this cycle. It happens in this cycle. This one double instead of 1 to 20, correct? Cycle started, ended here, started a new one, happened again. So it's keep repeating over and over again in every cycle. You have two resets. Not this one. You won't count this because this is where everything started from here. So you only have one major reset from this low. This is where everything is starting right now from the bear market low of 2022. Okay. Other than that, at every 40 weeks, okay, from the last since 2002 low is 10, 10, 10, 10. And what the price did, V shape, V shape, V shape, V shape. Every 10% dip end up reversing back in a V shape reversal. 3 weeks down, 3 weeks up. This was 9, 2. This was, let me see, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 up. So don't be surprised. I know market went up in 2 weeks. Okay, it happens before as well. Like this was 9, this is 2, this is 14 against 5. Look how sharp it went up. 14 weeks. It was a drawdown here of 10.9, went up in 5 weeks. This one was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4, 5, give or take, right back here. There you go. They're all V. It's constantly repeating over and over again for the last 4 years. This is a one of a kind cycle that you will ever see, and that we are tracking moving forward, like to see how far it goes. But it is really like it is amazing how it's it's like how it's repeating over and over again. Same concept. 40 week window. There's gonna be a 10% dip in there somewhere. It's gonna happen. Like the drag is gonna come for like a couple of weeks. And it's happening over and over again. I mean let me see if I can extend this. There's a way to that's the forward here. So we can extend these lines going up. So you can kind of, I want to do divisions. base internal here. So now you have a much better view of looking. So whatever I can make a little more clear. Get of all this. So we can actually do green or we can do red. So it sees not it doesn't appear here. It started here. Why didn't it happen? Because this is where uh the but we're counting forward from this point. So the first cycle here, second here, third here, that's the fourth one that we're in right now. You know? So and then each year high lows are all here. So last year high was this, low was this, 2024 high was this, low was this, 23, this low to this high, and then 2022. So it's all depends. Like you can see from like 2023, just to measure, kind of how much the price moved 26% from peak to trough. You can just all measures move. It has nothing to do with it. But the point is this: it's not something that, oh, is the 14 is gonna hit and then it's gonna be a trend change. No, a trend change will happens when this will trigger. These are trend change reversal right there. Okay, so it's the same thing here to the buy side. Buy signal here, buy signal here. I haven't got any. I'm just one, like, it's been a long time. Just we got them here. Yeah, we positioned something to a downside as well. So I will do the same thing when I'm going to see another one. I'm not going to fight the upside. Absolutely not. Write the trend. You don't fight the trend. That's just stupid. Sitting and assuming tops. Oh, we went up too fast, too far. Like, okay, the market needs your permission to move. So it's just don't confuse time with price. They're two different things. Okay. Structure is built on a swing. When we have a next pocket of the cycle will start, depends then if we would have 3 weeks of lower low. Okay. The trend is down. Now we're gonna now we're gonna move up. Here's 21 is the most common one you can use, and you can do 40 with the cycle. There you go. So you have 21 and you have 40 that's going um side by side. I'm not, I mean, moving averages and stuff, those death crosses, a lot of people get obsessed with. I mean, it just, yeah, it gives you a pretty nice kind of hint, but that doesn't, I don't rely, keep those ones in my thing, like, oh, I'm trading these moving averages. I'm just gonna cut the trade if it closed below, if I'm, just riding this thing up and this and that. I mean, you're gonna have a lot of false break to the downside below the moving average anyways. Price can reverse right back up. So any next, whatever, August 14 is whenever all the weekly candles that we're gonna have until this line will hit on that week, and then the new cycle will start, and we just this continues as you can, because we're forward all 40 weeks from the last 4 years, and we'll just keep them here and see how it goes. But in the meantime, we just gotta have to see when does the actual trend changed. Okay, we can zoom it. You see? So 40-week cycle is here. Now you can see like, okay, where does the trend change? Right here. See, you got 3 weeks of lower lows. So this is where you're gonna have to look. I hope you understand how it works now. So we can throw a Hurst here, Hurst cycle. So now upper 7,097 is but that doesn't mean that's the top. Okay, cycles don't define tops and bottoms. Price technically is supposed to behave in that in the time cycle, but that doesn't mean you cannot get an overthrow or. That just the weekly is fine, but as you can see, market took a 10% dip. I was the only thing that I was watching, even the fact that, it was 9 weeks of a drawdown that we had to the low of this one of a kind correction, I would say, that I was always watching this to see if the data will reflect that, to see if it could lose momentum to the upside, but it did not. I was like, you know what, screw that. I said, like, no, just the dip, and then I'm start looking at bunch of like, because I was trying to see like if I can even count 5 waves to the downside. It has so much price overlap. I was like, no, it's just some sort of a correction here. VIX is not making higher highs and price is making lower lows. And you see now what's happening? Look, the VIX right now is not making lower lows. Did you notice that? VIX was yesterday was flat. That was another thing, something to watch. Look, here's VIX. So S&P, so VIX popped right there to 35, right? And then this is the 2 weeks that we just had. So S&P, which these 3 weeks right there to the low, but here you see VIX was not making higher highs. This is, I would say, like, you know what? This is just getting this 3 weeks right there. See, that's the high right there, 35, right? And then when you come here, you see price is making lower lows. But when you're looking at here, it's just sideways. This is supposed to move like this. There's panic, right? The spike in volatility, things like this. These are the kind of like this. That's like something is just not right. This thing is capped. And then oil that I'm start looking at the same time, I was like, it's not even making higher highs either. It's a very kind of a controlled sell-off the market just had. Look at the crude. See, it made a pop right there at 119. Look at the last 3 weeks. This this is the 2 weeks so far. One and two. You see the VIX and this count these 3 weeks was not making higher highs. The crude is pretty much capped. I told you this thing 2 weeks ago. even 3 weeks ago. Remember, we had a Zoom session. You can watch the recording on YouTube as well. 3 weeks ago or so, I told you, I said, like, you see this massive wick. Okay, that's a huge look at the what happened to this week, the way this thing, the crude popped. This. Look at this high and low. This is the low, and this is the high right there. Look where the body is, open and close. And look at this wick, and look at this. This is a topping pattern right there. There's no denial there. And then you have that 261.1 extension sitting there. 3 weeks ago, we had several. I was like, S&P is dropping, right? Basically, is making lower lows. Crude is not making higher highs based on these news. VIX is not making higher highs. I was like, this thing is capped right there, and then it's just been lingering around here. Oh, oil went up, backs off. Oil, there's a lot of positioning happened here in the last couple of weeks. I can guarantee you that massive money has been made in these news flow about this crude. Somebody put up a $760 million order on a futures before the bell, I believe, when the before the news came out. And that order was not even placed here. It was placed in the London Stock Exchange. Somebody did over there in London. It was not a US order. Somebody placed a massive bet in a pre-market right before the news. So who's sitting over there now? Even the the what's his name? Oh, now is open. Everything is open, closed like a what's his name? Here. He pointed this thing out yesterday. I just popped up right there. Here. See, 20 minutes before Trump announcement, Strait Hormuz was open. Investors sold a combined 7,990 lots of Brent crude future oil, $760 million worth of a bet. The oil would go down. See, these orders were much larger than anything else at that time. This was hidden in through from London. This. This is futures. Somebody nailed that freaking move right before the news. And then you have to look at that timing. It's so perfect. Positions get the in the system, and 10 minutes later, tweet goes out. God, you can only imagine the payout on this order. You know, what am I? You can only imagine a payout on this. He even went to the bed thinking about this order. That's crazy. It is. I mean, Where it went? Come on. This one, 760 million. This is 100% inside trading. But, you know, who knows? Probably Irani doing it. They know. You think they're not watching the market? Somebody is somebody's playing massive big swings in this market. All right, show is over. Not gonna drag this thing for too long. Go enjoy your weekend. I think we pretty much covered everything. Um, I like Bitcoin, so finger crossed. Bitcoin is behaving from the new cycle, so Bitcoin should be okay in the coming months. So I've been tracking this from since here, but because the only sucker this thing was like it went too far, okay, so it has to catch up on a time. This, so and it did finally up till here, okay. So we did one trade so far on the Bitcoin, and we're gonna do another one. This one. So we did one so far. I'm gonna do another trade on this on the same ticker, IBIT as well. So we're gonna do another. I will do either another spread. Or I do another like a make a two-tier combo. Might do a butterfly, and it depends. I have to see. So we're gonna do another trade to to stay long. You know. So it's be fine with what the heck my Bitcoin folder went. I lost it. Oh, here, crypto. So crypto is okay. Hey, look, see, crypto is gonna move in the coming weeks. So yeah, I wouldn't be see coin strategy now. This BM and I don't know I don't know what is that? That's 22. Very slow momentum. Is nothing here. I don't know. I don't know why did I added this. Somebody probably told me added this. Solana. Coinbase, IBIT, Bitcoin, Ethereum strategy, Ethereum Trust ETF, and this Bitwise Solana ETF, I guess. What is this? BSOL. There. Yeah, this is something new as well now. So we have swing high and swing low. You could do as $12, 12.15. That's your resistance right there, always to a prior swing. Take this low, take this low to this high swing for now. So 12, 13, 14, 16. Oh man, I'm not trading this garbage. 1 point move. No, what is that? Goodbye. So that's good. Ethereum strategy. Oh, that's ETF. It's the same thing. Double that thing. Um, so coin, IBIT, Bitcoin, TSLA. Okay, that's good. That's clean. Yeah, I mean, I don't really have to put IBIT here anyway because it's gonna track the spot anyway. So there you go. There you go. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Coinbase strategy. That's all. Yeah, because IBIT carries track the spot. So we have to worry about this. This leads, so does everything. It's not necessary. These are all the proxies. Rather just track the hunt the ETS that tracks the flow of of the spot price. So Bitcoin is not good. Plus they've got the music signal with Bitcoin right there. Look at that. You know the drill on this one. Real simple. This is the weekend right now, so that's why it's the the candle is already there. So it triggers last week. It's confirmed. Now this. So the point now is every week, okay, it has to keep this signal on. It's not about high, lows, close, and all that. It's gonna do the work, right? Then whenever this pink signal will disappear, that's it. That's the end. That's the end of the show. Okay, I call this on the music signals. And music starts playing here, and music will stop as soon as that signal will stop. It's a very unique signal. Okay, it takes a very specific conditions to trigger. So Ethereum has one as well, and so does the Bitcoin in a weekly. That's exactly the time frame that I want. Swing is up anyway, so which is a really good sign. I mean, it could have a down week, which is going to be okay, but we're going to be watching this every week now, not daily, week. Once it's there now. That's it. It's not going to be until the week ends. Okay, because these are weekly bars. And week after week after week, if this uh, if this progress from here, rotation first, signal second, see, confirming this momentum is picking up, correct? That signal has to do the work. It has to work side by side. So these are just the random one, just the generic, like you can all see it. So we'll see what happens. I have up here what 200 and which I paid for that $213,000 debit that I paid. 75 contracts on futures that I'm holding right now. I've been for the last 3 weeks or so. So we'll see. You get to 85 or something. That would be the ideal um, move. This area is going to show a little bit of resistance right there because that's the mid band. The trade is going to unfold here. This is where the trend established. So you have a lower zone, you have an upper zone. So the key is if this rotation improves, which most likely it will because it's been down for quite a bit of for like almost 5 months, right? And it's time for this rotation to slowly improve. This has to make a room back to the upside. It's starting to move toward the upper band. This sucker can hit right back to that 197,000 mark. So it has work to do. So I gotta be patient. It's a game of patience right now. A lot of people, I mean, if it fails, it fails. I don't think it's gonna fail because rotation looks pretty good. I saw some guys are showing those multiple bearish patterns all the time. That's when they mix out because they don't have this. That's the problem. All these people who posting stuff on Twitter, none of them has any clue how rotation works, anyways. Okay. Yeah, nobody in the world can even figure this thing out. I can guarantee you that. There's some names here. Look at the scan. Remember the scan that I was showing before? It was only 15 names. You see how it's stretching now? See, now it's down to 37. It's got to go up to like at least 50 plus 60 names minimum. Remember the scan? We run them every week. The every Saturday I was showing you on a session. So like, look, we're only stuck at 15 for the last like over a month. Look, now it's 37. You see how it's improving? I know how the scanner works. I built this thing. When the breadth is narrow, scanner will be narrow. When the breadth is starting to improve, so does the scan. These are the ones that have the confirmed weekly rotation. All these names only. This Hood is one in there. Trying to move. App Lovin is one. So there's some names here. So this is already see. See, I tried to looking at looking at some name, but all of these stocks they have earnings coming as well. You know, only these names that picks United Healthcare is in there. Earnings are coming. Trade Desk. So there's some Qualcomm. Already took a shot at that one. You see, I picked that one. So I hunt. The way I'm gonna come up with a trade, just put the trade on. Let me worry about the rest. You have no idea what I'm looking at. The see QCOM, I caught it. Took a small swing. Is because we don't have a confirmed buy signal here, anyways. It's just the the rotation. So when I run scans like this, it's when the name pump pops up here. Then I want to I come here to say like obviously when you have stocks they're sitting here, there's no buy signals on those. Their swings, most of them are going to be down anyways because they're all sitting on a lagging quadrant. But these are the ones they're going to move up eventually in coming weeks. So it's going to be
Oh,
more. There's going to be more names going to come in there. Yeah.
oh, so I was wondering, so is it the TEL, the third one, third blue, after, AMD and Expedia?
Yeah,
Yeah.
these are the ones, the blue ones are the ones that they
Third blue,
have a
third blue
trend
one?
confirmation. Huh? What do you
Okay.
see?
Yeah, yeah, I just wondering because, the previous zoom out RRG didn't show TEL's name on it. So
Yeah,
it's
they were only 15.
still
If you go,
AMD and Expedia. Okay. Thank you.
yeah, remember 2 weeks ago, like remember a couple of weeks ago, we've been doing this thing every week. It was only 15 names. Yeah, now you see now the list is stretching. It's gonna go down, it's gonna go up even more. Watch. Now up to like we double it so far, right? We went from 15 to 37, 38 now. This number is supposed to go up to 60 next. That's when you're gonna see a real market breadth across the board. Once you're gonna start seeing here 60 plus names out of 500. That's when you're gonna have a tons of opportunities gonna come. So like, okay, here now we can filter this thing to see which one we're gonna buy. Well, obviously, always gonna look for big names. I mean, I know some of these like MSCI. I don't know what the heck is that. Like Moody and stuff. I want to buy them. Like IT. Like some of these companies, I don't really trade them. I do see them. It doesn't mean I'm just gonna. I I take very selective stocks. What I trade is very selective names. I try to focus only on the big names. I want to buy a weakness first. I'm gonna go with the big ones, like Microsoft did. Software took a beating. I was like, okay, if the whole software is taking a beating, if I'm gonna buy something, the first will be Microsoft. the leader, top leader, Then the second, I just went with Palantir. So we closed Palantir because we don't have the confirmed weekly signal yet. So it just, it's coming. I think Palantir is here, right here. So I'm looking at these ones as well. So these are, but now the question is, M- Monday market opens, say like, hey, rotation confirms this and this. Okay, well then open a full size up position and don't expect the stock to move much because it's coming close to the earnings. So that's another BS we have to deal with. I hate earnings. It limits your buying so much. And I'm not comfortable throwing $3,000-4,000 size position on and hold my breath to see if I'm gonna get lucky or if I'm gonna get my ass kicked
So,
on any kind of
Mo,
a shakeout. Yeah,
Mo, I was, trying to sell, locking the profit on AMD because it hit the triple top, and I think that you share the 1 day and 1 week Hearst charts of AMD, and I think both charts show the, I think overshoot on both time frame, I think.
it can. It has
So,
nothing to
but
do with it.
RG is still showing that they could go up still.
Yeah, I mean this the the earning the look at that. It's like a full W. See on a weekly, it's a full W. So what we can do extension from this to this. That was the swing high and swing low. Now made in a higher high. Now, how far does it go? We can look for 127 extension, 161. There, that's your upside. 288, 315. So swing is up, rotation is improving. RRG is starting to make a move. Yeah, AMD has upside to come. Just breaking out after this. Yeah, but this, you gotta, yeah. Oh, maybe AMD is fine. Yeah, these are all gonna make their way up.
Can you cover TEL and Expedia as well?
TEL, this one?
TEL, yeah.
What is that stock?
It's
Ooh,
it's
that's a
It's a AI data center name.
Oh, this isn't a clear breakout. Same thing we do it here. High to low. Oh, we closed above 78.6, 250, 1-2 extension. Yeah, it's all three-way move. I mean, this stock minimum upside from here is gonna be 266. It's just the bare minimum right there. Get there in 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, it all depends. What's the other one?
Expedia.
Yeah, these are like, these names that have confirmed rotation. Where the hell is Expedia? Yeah. You see, they're all twisted, you see? Right there. This one is gonna fight this 78.6, so you gotta watch that one. This. So it's coming really damn close. So I mean, if this stock clears, it's got when do they have their earnings coming out? So it's gotta be the earning move. It's the only way you're gonna clear this kind of you need like a strong pop to clear this zone. So still got to fight this. AMD's has a little bit more upside. Well, you pay an all-time high price as well on that stock. So I'll find something here. Don't worry about it. I was watching Booking as well. You see the oil prices goes up. The airline said this airline sector takes a hit, right? Did you look at like transports? Crazy. No, the look at this transports. I don't know. Some of you probably not even watching. Like look at this move. This Dow transports are up 29% year to date, and this sucker has been running since last year. You know, it's. I'll just. I mean, my wife, she handles like, she's in accounting. She does in she manages like multiple companies' accounts that she sees like the real numbers from inside. Know what their expenses are. She knows what their payrolls are, how much money is going out, what money, she's just like that. She's like all she does, she's like manage money for companies. That's her job. So she sees a lot of things from like a full company health from the inside, basically. So she knows their books, like which business is doing what and what debt they carry, what how much credit they're taking, this and that. It just, I mean, I know a lot about transports. So, but she's in that field. So when you are working with two, three companies and you have a pretty good idea about the overall industry to see how the rest of I mean, every business is different, of course, but it depends, if one company has 100 trucks, one has 150 trucks, other has 200, So she deals with most of these top, like C.H. Robinson, J.B. Hunt. She knows all of them. She deals with them, so they like, they call each other out, like, for work, like loads and that kind of stuff. So they all work together. So, I mean, they're all public traded companies, C.H. Robinson, J.B. Hunt, FedEx, UPS, So, I mean, trucking business right now is getting hurt with these oil prices and stuff. It's okay. But the only downside right now for most of these local ones is they're because of the immigration. So a lot of European guys who were here without papers and stuff, now these come there a lot of trucks now they're just sitting in their parking lot. They don't have drivers to drive the truck, you know? So yeah, that's the biggest like for UPS and FedEx is not a problem because they verify your employment and status and stuff. But these individual ones, yeah, they are the ones that they're hiding. All these new guys are coming here from Europe, and some of them cannot even speak English. So what they can do, they can drive, and they're really good with driving. So they drive. So these, I mean, I'm making, I mean, it's a fucking shit life living a truck, but yeah. So I kind of, you know a lot about. I'm pretty surprised. I wasn't even talking to her last night. It's like I don't know. It's like see, we were talking last night. I was like, you think the trucking business is doing really good? She's like, it's okay, but she's like, companies are getting hurt with immigration because a lot of drivers left. So a lot of companies have their trucks sitting in their parking lot and they don't have many drivers so they're always looking to hire drivers. That's one thing. And she's like, right after the war, the spike in oil prices, fuel costs went up. I was like, so you guys gonna start charging more? She's like, well, we're gonna obviously gonna ask more for the loads when we're gonna load them up. I was like, what about the goods and stuff? She's like, well, that depends on the store. She's like, we have nothing to do with that. Our job is to pick a shipment and drop it off and factor our cost in there with fuel charges. They do some of them, they do per miles and stuff, that kind of just our fuel cost goes in there and then the cost will adjust. So it's like so it all depends because they get the load from a brokers. Brokers are East Coast, West Coast, they're all sitting and then they have to negotiate the because he already has a quote from where the shipment is sitting and he's trying to find a transporter. He's gonna make his money, on a spread. And he's trying to then you have to negotiate a price like, hey, if I pick up your load, well, the oil prices went up and so does my rate gonna go up. So they negotiate. All right. Yeah, Dice, it's pretty impressive, man. Look at this move. 10% move this week alone. This thing is up 29% for the year, quarter. Let's see. Yeah. In FedEx, UPS sucks, man. God damn it, this FedEx, look at that. See, this FedEx follows that drought transport stock. I'm gonna go back to Uber again. Uber, I need some info with the Uber. Did we close Uber? Did I open Uber? Oh yeah, I closed that one. That's what I was thinking. I was like, yeah, the quick pop right there. Yeah, okay, yeah, I closed that the next day. Where is this trade here? Where's Uber? I'm missing that. Yeah, okay. I'm missing that. That's what I thought. I was like, I'm missing this one. It was Tuesday. It was this week on the 14th. Yeah, that was on Tuesday this week. Okay, I'm gonna plug this one in. 397. I went with Qualcomm, closed Meta, because we almost ran out of time. So it didn't really do much. Tesla, we closed. Palantir, we closed. Microsoft, we closed. IBIT, Palantir, Open Oracle. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna put the Uber back in there. It's missing this trade. This one. All right. This was from last week. This is from this week. Nothing on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. That was yesterday. All right. Have a good rest of the day. We'll catch it. Oh God.
Thank
We'll
you, Mom.
uh we'll catch up and I guess next is all about Joe Point and earnings, I guess. So let's do this.